MAGA got fractured not when Tucker Carlson interviewed Nick Fuentes, but when Donald Trump looked at us in our faces and said, Epstein who? That's when it was game over.
So anyway, here's Candace Owens on Piers Morgan, and she's laying it down. She is going to tell you that where the split is in MAGA, and it happened because of Donald Trump. But first she says this.
Are you done with Donald Trump, or could you see a way that you would end up perhaps voting for him? Oh, you can't run again, obviously, but would you support him publicly again?
So I want to be clear. I don't regret voting for Donald Trump above Kamala. I think he was the better candidate, certainly a better candidate above Joe Biden. But what I will say is that he's been a chronic disappointment. And I feel embarrassed that I told people to go vote for him because this wasn't going to happen and it is happening. But I just think that the picture of politics in America is going to look very differently because of his actions. So I don't know where we go from here. I really don't. But this is not the candidate that I voted for.
But wow.
Good.
So Candace has turned on Trump, whereas Trump is turned on by Candace. It's a little different.
If you haven't turned on Trump, you're a punk. Trump turned on you day one, morons.
That's the whole thing. We're going to get to that because people have pushed back against her on this. Here she is. She's going to tell you the moment that MAGA got fractured and she turned on Trump. Ready? Here's the moment.
I think you're going to infiltrate and convince us that this is the same party while we get gaslit about everything that's happening. Like I said, you lost the party. MAGA got fractured not when Tucker Carlson interviewed Nick Fuentes, but when Donald Trump looked at us in our faces and said, Epstein who? That's when it was game over. Because Israel first is a cancer cell. It is a cancer cell, left or right, to everything and everyone that wants to play around with it. It is a radical psychosis that has manifested itself within both parties. And it is so radical that in case you missed it yesterday, they started attacking Brett Cooper. Brett Cooper, 23-year-old, bubbly Brett Cooper. She makes the majority of her videos dedicated to pop culture. Yes, she covers things that are, I would say, mainstream politics, nothing too daring, never speaks about Israel. And she did her part, by the way. Zionists wanted her to do her part and encouraged New Yorkers to get out and vote against Mamdani. But it's not enough, of course, because this is a radical ideology. You give them 100%. You even say one critique, and they don't want to break bread with you. They want to destroy you. And that's what they want to do to Brett Cooper.
So just to remind you, when MAGA got fractured,
you're going to infiltrate and convince us that this is the same party while we get gaslit about everything that's happening. Like I said, you lost the party. MAGA got fractured not when Tucker Carlson interviewed Nick Fuentes, but when Donald Trump looked at us in our faces and said, Epstein who? That's when it was game over.
That was it.
Correct.
So she said this stuff. She said this stuff on Piers. She said this stuff on her own show. And then people came at her saying again, people they're just Zionists. A lot of these are probably paid. This guy says, and there it is. Deceivers always unmask themselves after they think they've reached a critical mass of the deceived, because their true father, the ultimate deceiver, wants to be known and worshipped himself. Thus, the spirit of the age now takes the mask off and dunks on you. So he's saying she's serving Satan.
He's not talking about Trump.
No, she's talking about, that guy's talking about Candace, not Trump.
Wow, Steve Deese.
Yeah.
Wow. Whoa, what a great show you must have.
Courtney gets him. She says, you're reaching for some straws, bro. Many of us who have voted for Trump 3 times are disappointed in him. We are allowed to say that and to criticize him.
I'd say Steve Deese is an active psyop liar like every one of these fake fucking Zionist Christians are. That's what I'd say.
I agree. Here's another one. Corey Walker says, how is Owens considered MAGA when she backstabs and talks negatively about Trump every moment she can? I'll tell you, Corey. This is why. Because Trump is supposed to be loyal to MAGA. MAGA is not supposed to be loyal to Trump. Trump is supposed to be loyal to his voters. You're not supposed to be loyal to a politician, you dunce. The politician is supposed to be loyal to you. And when the politician sticks a red, white, and blue dick up your ass, You're supposed to say something.
Corey, I know you're not a real guy, and in fact, a Mossad something posing as a black guy to try to show there's a lot of variety of anger against Candace, but no one believes it, Corey. Okay? Officer Tatum is the only black guy that's that big of a bitch.
Who's Officer Tatum?
Oh, he's that conservative cop channel who, I'm not joking, he's talking to one of those fucking Hasbro clones, and he goes, yeah, I'm in Israel, I only got spit on once. He's bragging about he only got spit on once. You bitch, dude.
Oh my God.
Officer pig fuck bitch. I can't condemn that punk strong enough. What a punk you are, Tatum. What a punk.
I don't want to have
only got spit on
an
once.
unhappy experience with you.
Sorry.
Shitty people do shitty things to you because they feel shitty about themselves, not because you deserve to have shitty things done to you. That's a fact.
Who said that?
I don't know, but I got it on my soundboard.
Well, Tatum, listen up, Officer Tatum.
Your favorite, Ian Miles Chong. Guy
my favorite Malaysian pretending to be from here who, for some reason, is commenting on anything?
He says 10 million Americans listen to her, and she runs the most popular U.S. political podcast online. Let that sink in. Yes, Ian, let that sink in. Let that sink in that
Malaysia?
You guys are on the wrong side of history, and she's on the right side of history. That's
he's a fake. I mean, he's doing that like he's not even hired by anybody. He's that big of a fake, and he sucks up to either Elon or whoever Republicans, so they retweet him. And he's been doing this for years. He had him go and let that sink in. There's nothing behind that other than a guy almost catfishing people trying to get in on American politics from Malaysia.
Here's another one. AD Tippett says, can everyone please stop platforming her? At this point, it's like a P.T. Barnum freak show. I got news for you. No one has to platform her. She's the platform. She's the #1 show in the world.
Trump is doing...
She's the platform. This idea that she needs other people to platform her is a wish by you. That's not. If everybody else stopped having Candace on their show, she would still be the most watched podcast in the world.
Well, remember when Donald Trump was asking her to back off of the Macrons?
Yes.
And he said, I'll probably come on. I could come on your show. And she goes, wait a minute. All due respect. You're the president calling me to do you a favor right now.
That's right. Trump is pretty much doing everything he said he was going to do for some good and for some good and ill. No, he's not.
List them, AD.
He's starting new wars. He's giving more. He didn't cut any of that money that Doge found from the federal budget. In fact, he increased it to $200 billion and then gave it to the weapons manufacturers, the State Department, and the Pentagon. So none of that Doge money actually got cut, which is why Elon got so upset. They never went to the Pentagon. They never cut the Pentagon. They took all that Doge money and they just gave it to the Pentagon. And then the Pentagon's going to do all that stuff that Doge was doing. I mean, that the USAID was doing. All that USAID was about infiltrating other countries' political systems and overthrowing them and controlling them. That's what that was for. So if they gave aid to someone or they gave food to someone or whatever they gave to someone or whatever program the USAID, it was there so they could have political control. And so anyway, yay, the moment Trump said we were bad and stupid people for talking about Epstein, he lost most of us. That's right. DBC Cooter. The moment Trump said we were bad and stupid for talking about Epstein, he lost most of us.
He should have lost everyone. Why is anyone, as soon as that happened, that there was no justice for that, you should have abandoned all loyalty in this system whatsoever because they trafficked American kids on behalf of
that's right.
Well, a certain Middle Eastern country that we are not allowed to say.
So Donald Trump is not exposing child traffickers. He's covering up for them, which was the opposite of what people wanted and voted for. He's not going after. He's going after criminal, illegal immigrants. He's going after college students who followed all the rules, who are here, and All they did was have an opinion on Israel he didn't like, and he's trying to get them deported, trying to take away people's passports. He's also exploiting the deficit. They didn't cut the deficit. The deficit's ballooning, which means your dollar. So they're still printing money, $1 trillion every 3 months. So what that does is that's like a hidden inflation that makes your dollar worth way less. So
and Bannon told us that. And then he's going, oh, Trump in 2028 now. Can somebody reconcile that?
So he's cutting healthcare. He's cutting healthcare for workers. At the same time, he's giving tax cuts again to the richest people in the country. He's exploding the deficit. He's giving $200 billion more to the war machine. These are stuff. No, he's starting war with Venezuela. He bombing Yemen, bombing Iran, still funding the genocide in Gaza, and still funding the war in Ukraine. This is not now. He's threatening war in Nigeria. He's hanging out with Al Qaeda at the White House. Legit hanging out with the head of Al Qaeda at the White House. Wow, he still has. Wow, Al
Never
Qaeda.
thought I'd see the day when
you guys are supposed to hate. You're supposed to hate Mondami, but Trump's hanging out with the legit leader of Al Qaeda. Go ahead, Kurt. Sorry.
Well, I know Al Qaeda, but I can't get over the guys also, and I saw Petraeus say it to him in the interview, a founding member of ISIS. You know, the really bad one, I mean, they don't attack Israel, credit where credit's due, but the really bad one, the one that chopped off Daniel Pearl's head, if he ain't the guy standing behind him, he's in the room. And now Trump's going to go shake his hand in the White House and blather about Nigeria to imbeciles.
Some people say Israel has their hand up Trump's ass and is working his head like a puppet. I say that's nonsense, Kurt. I say that's nonsense because you could fit an entire Israeli up his ass.
Well, that's not hard. I mean, they're
not just his hand.
People.
Here, Patrick Casey says the idea of Candace feeling embarrassed at having supported Trump is laughable. Ha! That reminds me when Paul F. Tompkins used to go, "You make me laugh." Like that. You mean that kind of laugh? He's a world historical figure, meaning Trump. He's a world historical figure who dominated American politics for a decade. She's a petty grifter with no sincere conviction or beliefs. If anything, Trump should be embarrassed of her. Boy, if I had a nickel for every falsehood in that tweet, I wouldn't have to work anymore. But
look at the name. Restore Order USA, Patrick Casey. So there's a Mossad agent's idea of an American name followed by a fascist, vaguely fascist Restore Order thing. I'll bet you that's a fucking Zionist, dude.
I hate to break it to you, Patrick Casey, but Candace has the #1 show in the world. So even Trump, when he had The Apprentice, as popular as it wasn't the #1 show in the world. Candace Owens' show was the #1 show in the world. I would say Candace Owens is on the brink of being bigger than Donald Trump, if not already. People certainly trust her more. I know I do. I trust her way more. You know why? Because she doesn't lie. That would be the big difference. And you know why? The reason why she's so popular is because she actually does stick to her convictions. So good for Candace Owens. Good for her letting the politicians know that they work for us. We don't work for them. Donald Trump works for Candace Owens. Candace Owens doesn't work for frickin' Trump. MAGA doesn't work for Trump. Trump works for MAGA. And this is the exact same stuff. This kind of stuff is the exact same stuff the Democrats did around Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Apologizing for them, even when Joe Biden was obviously demented. They're like, he's sharp and focused. This is like Joe Scarborough. That's what this is. Just keep pretending that Trump isn't a puppet of the AIPAC and Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu and Miriam Adelson. Just pretend he's not a puppet of the Zionists. Keep pretending. Keep pretending he's not exploding the deficit and giving money to to the military-industrial complex and weapons manufacturers and Wall Street. He just gave $35 billion gift to Big Pharma through Ozempic. We're going to cover that story next. He can't stop giving $40 billion to Argentina, $33 billion to Israel, hundreds of billions to Ukraine.
Sounds like a traitor, Jimmy. He sounds like a
$200 billion more to the Pentagon, the war machine. $35 billion to Big Pharma, just like that, at the snap of a finger.
Now, do you remember how morons called him, like your Bill Maher's, called him a traitor for saying, hack Hillary's phone, Russia, in a speech?
Yeah.
Or for holding up, giving your money to Ukraine, he's a traitor.
Yeah.
Not for giving everything away and not keeping any promises to you. He's not a traitor for that.
That's right. Okay. Good on Candace for telling the truth about Donald Trump and reminding everybody that Donald Trump works for you, that you don't work for Donald Trump, and he better be loyal to you. You're not loyal to a politician. Only chumps are loyal to politicians. If you're loyal to a politician, you're a chump.
Well, people in entertainment are genuinely like that. They're genuinely like, I better not say a thing that get me in trouble with getting more work.
I know.
So that's what Hollywood, one of the most insidious things, is instilling that submission to power into people around America.
Well, come see me tell jokes about this in Australia. We'll be in Burbank, California, the day after Thanksgiving. It's a Friday, May 28th. Lots of people are off that day. Not everybody. I'm not off that day, but maybe you are. Then I'll be in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, December 6th. That's a Saturday. January 11th is a Sunday. We'll be in Waikiki Beach at the Blue Note. It's a beautiful space. Beautiful. It's right on the beach. Blue Note. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Come see us in Australia. Second show's added in Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. We'll see you in Burbank, California, the day after Thanksgiving. It's a Friday. And then Pottstown, Pennsylvania, December 6th. Plus, January 11th, we're going to be in Waikiki at the Blue Note. Tickets not available yet for them, but go to jimmydore.com for a link for all the other tickets.